Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our conversation. We're going to be looking at addressable TV at Partner Communications, powering the ad revolution in Israel. And this is brought to you with our friends at BROADPEAK. Let me introduce our panelists to you. Xavier Leclerc is the VP of Business Development at BROADPEAK. Also, we're joined by Ronan Gutmanovitz, who is head of the TV Technologies Division at Partner Communications, and also Amit Pelsig, who is the head of addressable TV at Partner. So let's go through, shall we, and meet everybody. Amit, maybe we could start with you and sum up for us, perhaps, if you can, the market for addressable TV as it stands, particularly in Israel. I'm sure people will be interested in finding out the sort of market share that Partner has.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure. At the moment, Partner TV is the first and only platform that is capable and allow launching addressable campaigns in Israel, in the Israeli market. The share of the eyeballs in Israel is more than 12–13%, and we can target almost 1 million real viewers, eyeballs, from 250,000 households. We are in a at the same time, and basically we feel from month to month the increase on budgets and demands, and how the marketeers are excited about this revolution.
Yeah, no, very much so. I'm sure. And in terms of the competitive nature that you have around you, there's other sort of subscription-based services that the Israeli consumer can sign up to.
In OTT, basically all TV providers in Israel declared or have been moved to OTT services. So we are seeing the changes from basic linear cable or satellite to an OTT services, and this make marketers, advertisers see how they are very excited about all these opportunities.
Yeah, Ronan, let me come to you. I guess the technology here, which Xavier is providing for you, that's pretty useful to what you're doing.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring the best offer to the market, and for the moment, yes, all the others are doing OTT, but we're the first one in Israel that are really doing targeted addressable TV. So we're trying to bring the best offering to the advertisers and, of course, to our customers. Partner deploy the full ABR solution, creating the opportunity for targeted ads. And we are serving, for the moment, we're serving pre-rolls for VOD and ad insertion for some of our live channels. And we're always trying to improve our offering to the advertiser, to the agencies, extending it with more programmatic sale options and more targeting options. Of course, when we looked for an ad platform, as one of the earlier adopters of Android TV, integrating Google Ad Manager was the native option for us, and also for the agencies which are already on the platform working. The teams are ready to work with Google Ad Manager, so the offering is almost matched to what the digital guys did in the past, but now for the big screen.
It's interesting. I was reading a piece about what was happening with Mediaset in Spain and with Google, and they've somehow managed to work together in order to provide ostensibly a mixed offer, which would go across all platforms, you know, from YouTube almost through to the linear channels. Isn't that the sort of thing that you're doing, or maybe you aspire to?
I think we first thought that it can be great if we're going to have one solution, one unified solution for both VOD and linear channels, which will work across all our devices. So choosing a server-side solution, the Google Dynamic Ad Insertion solution, was really the perfect match, and it was very easy to move from serving pre-rolls for VOD to serve ad insertion for linear channels, since we choose this technology, and I'm very happy that this is what we did.
Segues quite neatly into Xavier there, who hopefully can give us a little bit more detail on the technology which is coming from BROADPEAK into our friends at Partner.
Yeah, absolutely. So Guti has said it already, right? We basically we focused on the delivery, right? This is our area of expertise, video delivery. And when it comes to advertising, we basically offer a server-side ad insertion solution. And it's basically everything you needed to deliver video from the network and advertising from the network with as little as possible integration on the clients, right? As opposition to the client side ad insertion. So when you look at the BROADPEAK solution, you have four main parts. The first one is very much to what I call the origin, right? Origination. This is where we will find the slots where we can insert the adverts. So this is where we use an origin server that will receive live feeds. And within those feeds, there are markers that tell us where the ad breaks are. And this enables us to know where we will be able to insert new adverts, new targeted adverts. So that's the first part. And for live and time shifted, we rely on those markers. For on demand, we may get the metadata already telling us where the breaks are. So that's easy to do, the pre-roll, the post-roll, or the mid-roll, right? So that's the easy part. The second part is very much creating the personalized playlist, right? So this is where we bring a manifest manipulator tool. So out of the origin server, you get manifest files, so basically an index with all the chunks of video that you're going to be playing. And what we do with manifest file is we're creating a unique playlist for you based on information we know about yourself and working with the advertiser so that you get an advert targeted to yourself, right? So we may be watching the same content and you get the BMW advert, I get the Peugeot advert, and maybe Amit gets the Coca-Cola advert, right? So this is where we create those unique playlists with the manifest manipulator, and we work with various SSPs. We work with the Google Ad Manager, obviously, as Guti mentioned, to work out which advert is going to be inserted in those playlists. Then we deliver the video, right? The video and the adverts. This is together with the BROADPEAK CDN components. Here, the quality of experience is important, right? Being able to splice adverts within the live stream, so you don't get, big difference between an ad and and the content you're watching. If you are, for example, on your iPad watching, I don't know, a 6 megabits per second live football game, and you get an ad at 10 megabits per second, that's not going to work out very well. So what we do is we prepare the ads, right? Because the ads are sometimes chosen dynamically. As soon as we get the ads, we transcode them and prepare them so that we can match the ABR ladder. So if you're watching at 6 megabits per second, you will get a version of the ad at 6 megabits per second as well. It'll be smooth, it'll be a nice experience. And, both visually and also when it comes to audio. One thing we do is we normalize the sound level so that when you move from an asset to an ad, you don't get those big spikes that you sometimes get on television.
You see, right? We speak to advertising people, they always claim to you that the ads are exactly the same volume than the programs are. Yeah. We all know full well that when an advert comes on, it's right the volume of the
So we have the tools to basically normalize those, and that's appreciated by end users. I mean, at the end, you want to make sure the experience is as smooth as possible, and you make sure also the ads plays nicely, right? If you don't have enough bandwidth, you may miss an opportunity to insert an ad. So this is important.
I'm interested in this list you were mentioning of the way that, if I'm understanding this correctly, the consumer, in this case me, you have a profile which is built up on them, and having gotten that profile, you've worked out the ads which I might want to see. That's kind of how it works. And is that based normally just on my profile as, you know, guy, early 50s, living in the UK, has a partner, that sort of stuff? Is that or how deep does the information go? Or is that entirely up to maybe Amit and Ronan to make those decisions?
So basically, we are using a deep DMP that we are having, and we have more than 20 or 30 different profiles of viewers by gender, by age, and even by services as a telecommunication provider that we have. I give you, for example, if we are selling roaming services, so we definitely can capable to launch a targeted ad of Samsonite carry-on bags, or let's say our customers tell us, listen, we are moving apartment on July 1st. Then we have the opportunity to launch a IKEA campaign. So the campaign and the ad is much more effective for those clients.
So you'd put me into one of these groups, would you, of sort of between 20 and 30 market segments, which I guess does get it pretty targeted.
Of course. Plus, you can do a geolocation target. It doesn't make sense. Israel is a small country, but it's not. It doesn't make sense to launch a real estate campaign in north of Israel to people that lives in Tel Aviv in the center. So when I meet the agencies and when I meet marketeers and brands, I tell them, here you have a hybrid creature that the body is a television and the brain is a digital. And when you have a deep DMP, it's a win-win.
And are you able? I don't. I guess it depends on local legislation. Are you able to say blur if somebody, say, if I'm searching on the internet for garden furniture, am I likely to then get an advertisement served to me which is advertising garden furniture on my TV or my mobile when I'm watching a partner service, or is that one of the things that you simply either can't do or are not allowed to do?
Cannot do everything. We cannot allow do everything. We are using first-party data from basically from the devices of television devices and from other services that we can do, as I mentioned before. But if you have a sports channels and they use sport channels and you are going to so you understand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Ronan, how does this vary from sort of platform to platform? Whether if I'm watching on one of partners' TV services on a traditional television set, or if I've gone to a mobile or a tablet device.
So the big advantage of doing a server-side solution is the ability to bring the same experience across devices. Okay. For the moment, we decided that we want to focus on our STBs, which is the most. This is the majority of the session being watched. But of course, you can hand over everything you want. You have all the content, everything on the mobile devices as well. And we can serve the ads over there as well. Just moving back, I just want to say that, sometimes to the previous question, sometimes everyone thinks that we can do whatever we want, but of course there is a very strict privacy policy which we need to follow, and we can't do anything. So, for example, sometimes there is a guideline saying which kind of segments I can cut, I can use, and we have to follow those guidelines for sure.
Sure, and I guess you have the own guidelines that partner sets for itself, and on top of those, of course, are the whatever the the local authorities have in terms of legislation, which I'm sure you'll keep to as well. While we've got you, Ron, I've got an interesting question which has come to us. Can you perhaps give a little bit more detailed information on how long it took to integrate the Google Ad Manager and the dynamic ad insertion?
So that's a very good question. Always when we're talking about monetization, every plan has the income targets which we need to bring, and so it always comes with a very strict timeline which we need to achieve. I think that we found out that bringing everyone, all the engineers, into one room for a workshop, that was amazing. To see 3 days on Google premises in Paris, together with BROADPEAK, with our client vendor iFeedSmart, and to discuss all the use cases. I think that increased our way to integrate very quickly. I think from this, since BROADPEAK didn't started from scratch, so they were already working on their platform. So just to connect everything together, I think that from the point we kicked off the project until the first time we saw an ad, I think it was something like 5 weeks, something like this. Of course, it took more times until we were able to finalize everything, until we launched the service. At the end, I think it was something like 3 months when we first launched the ad insertion for VOD pre-roll, which is the simplest and the most basic use case.
That sounds very impressive timeline there. Xavier, is that typical of your clients at the speed that they're able to do the integration?
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, a really good example of the server-side ad insertion technology, because you have very little integration to do on the client side. There is, all the work on the network side is going on, and it can be done, relatively quickly, as Brandon was saying now. I think when you compare the two technology, what is important is that on the client side, you are able to get the viewing data, so the ad viewing data, what we call the beacon, back into the platforms, and having basically flexible approach there, having a library to be able to report this data is really important, right? So I think it's a mixture of, low touch integration on the client side with the benefit of the server side and insertion that enables basically those timelines, the ability to put it together really quickly.
To do the measurement of what's actually being seen, and then I'll give it back again as to when the ads are served and to who.
Yeah, this is key. I mean, you need the trust in the client devices to know that the adverts are actually being played out. This industry obviously talks sometimes about frauds and, fake ad views. So, having the trust of different partners within the chain to be able to give this data back and knowing that you can trust this data is paramount. I think it's, really important to any advertising solution.
Yeah, and Ahmed, when you're speaking to the various advertisers, do they get it? My mind went back to red button advertising, which we had in the UK, goodness me, 20 odd years ago, and it was one of these things that I wouldn't say the advertising agencies didn't get. It's just that they were very unwilling to introduce ads where you saw an extended version if you pressed the red button. What has it been an easy sell for you?
Easy it's not. As I told before, we are in a production for 2 years, and in the first year we needed to educate the market, and I meet everyone. When you need to go to market with a new platform, with a new inventory, a new solution, you want to meet everyone, and I meet also digital experts and also offline TV experts, and it's not easy at all, but they realize that they have a win-win situation here. They have the prestige of television, they have the brand safety. This is very important for marketers, and the high-end content, and they have a great great targeting solutions, great way to control the impressions, the frequency capping. So now everyone are streaming. You're streaming on Netflix and Prime Video. I'm as well, and so are my media buyers. And they understand that there are new screens that their potential clients are streaming, and they need to be there as well. So in the first year, I needed to knock on every door and to explain what is addressable TV is all about and where are we up to. And now the situation is 180 degree. They call me, they call us, and they invite us to explain what they can do with their media plans and how they can be smarter with their strategy, advertising strategy.
Going forward, I don't know if this is one for you or for Monen, as to what can happen maybe on linear channels, as to whether or not it can be, I don't know, extended maybe even to overlays, perhaps, for example.
Yeah, so we are always thinking about our next steps, and of course refining our offers to the advertisers and of course to the customers. One big trend is that we're taking is the interactive. We are thinking about, and we already did it on few campaigns. For example, you have a campaign of one of the food companies here in Israel, and right after you're getting a pop-up saying, do you want to get more information? Press OK. Then you're pressing OK, giving your mobile number, and over there we are handing over all the interaction directly with the advertiser, with the company to the mobile, so you can still watch the big screen and continue sometimes offline doing the interaction. So this is very important. We're doing, for example, you can buy things you see on the commercials. We did a very great thing with the Domino's pizza. So sometimes we are have a commercial for pizza, then you can hand over to an app on the device, Domino's Pizza app on the device. You can order a pizza in few clicks, and it's there. So we see that the T-commerce, TV commerce as one of the streams we can focus in, and of course always extending more sophisticated targeting option and supporting more programmatic selling options, so we can reach even to the store and in the next street to use our platform.
And the handover to the mobile, how does that work? Is it because it's on the same network, or is there some other mechanism through just simply I don't know, some sort of sign-up code displayed on screen that's unique to the user?
No, we're just asking the user if he wants to continue in the interaction in the mobile. Okay. Just bring your mobile number, and we're sending me a link to continue the interaction.
Okay, now that's it. Some of these things you know you don't want to do is start leaving the TV show that you sat down to watch in the first place.
Yeah.
And in terms of negotiations with individual channels, are they, did the broadcasters, are they also interested in maybe adding something to their shows using the same technology?
So
I guess quiz shows, for example, could be quite interested in this sort of thing.
Sure, we're talking with all content owners, with all live channels about many kinds of models for interactions, and we had. I don't think we have time to tell about it, but we have we're doing really nice things.
I will add that it used to be that content had to be licensed at a premium price, and as a super aggregator, some of content was out of reach. Now with targeted ads and the rising of more and more campaigns, content right owners are more willing to share content using a AVOD model, and we can offer our viewers more channels, more content in the premium one.
Which can only be good, I guess, for partners, viewers. Well, look, thank you very much, everyone, for taking part of this afternoon. Really interesting to hear some of the work which is happening with Partner and, of course, with BROADPEAK as well. Thank you all very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Shalom.